Hey guys, South Bay Investor here. How's everybody doing? Thank you for watching another one of my videos. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. So on this video, guys, we're going to talk about Bernie Madoff. And of course, he was the infamous hedge fund manager that was convicted back in 2009, running one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history. He was sentenced by the federal government to 150 years, and he is currently serving his time in Butner Federal Correctional Institution in North Carolina. And recently, he has been requesting an early release due to a critical medical condition. And I wanted to just share this information with you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that he should be released because of the medical condition that he has, or should he serve out all his time and stay in prison until he passes away?
Finally confronting him that fateful afternoon.
He marched into his father's office and said, "What the is going on here?" And Bernie said that his business was just one big lie and that he was billions in debt.
Mark and his brother Andy turned in their father that day. Bernie would confess to running the biggest Ponzi scheme in history, more than 10,000 people investing $65 billion with what they thought was a legitimate firm. But Bernie had not made a single trade in decades. None of the investors' money had purchased a single share of stock. Instead, he used his fund as a personal piggy bank. He was later convicted and sentenced to 150 years in prison.
It's really impossible to violate rules when this is something that the public really doesn't understand. And if you read things in the newspaper and you see somebody, violate a rule, you say, well, they're always doing this. But it's impossible for you to for a violation to go undetected. Certainly not for a considerable period of time. And when you consider the volumes of trading, the trillions of dollars of trading that go on, our firm, for example, alone, we trade in excess of $1 trillion a year. So, and that's one firm. So when you look at the scope of the trading that goes on today in Wall Street, and you look at what we would consider to be the infractions, they're relatively small. Primarily because, of all the regulation. And most firms do try.
And now his victims can submit letters to the court to share how they feel about his sentence possibly being reduced. NBC News investigative correspondent Tom Winter is here with me now. Tom, so let's get into this. First, if we could sort of just go back, he pleads guilty in 2009 to running the largest Ponzi scheme investment scam in history. I so vividly remember his victims so many people lost everything, their life savings, their homes. So can we just go back to sort of what happened then and just remind our audience kind of what happened then and the impact?
So basically for decades, really, Bernie Madoff ran a fund saying that every year he was able to get consistent returns, high returns on these individuals' investments. Now, of course, that totally, belies gravity, the gravity of the markets. Markets go up, they go down. To consistently always have the same returns was a red flag. Eventually, he got caught doing it. And so what he would do is he would take money from, say, you or I in order to then pay out somebody else who wanted to be paid out because they thought that they had invested this money over the years. So when the financial markets and the economy tanked in 2008, 2009, he could no longer keep up the speed of redemptions with the money that he was taking in, and the emperor essentially got caught without clothes. Obviously, it had a tremendous impact on the victims. Over $13 billion with a B, $13 billion in investments that he would have had and should have had for people out the door, and he took it himself.
So now, let's talk about what's happening now. So he's asking for this early release because of a terminal illness. Now, as far as I know, he's receiving medical care, right?
He is receiving medical care, yeah. According to the Bureau of Prisons, which is overseeing his care, because he is in prison right now, basically he has kidney failure and a host of other diseases and ailments that he has. According to letters that were filed by his attorney, he's declined care for some of that himself. So he's waived off some of the care himself. Otherwise, Bureau of Prisons says, look, we have the ability to treat him for this, but they also acknowledge that the ailments that he's facing.
So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, guys. Should Bernie Madoff have an early release due to his medical condition? There was another investor or business guy. His name was Bernie Ebbers, who was released because of a medical condition that he was going to die from. This was back in December of 2019. And he did end up dying in February of 2020 of this year. And this was Bernie Ebbers, former CEO of WorldCom, and they did let him out. So what do you guys think, guys? In my opinion, I don't think that he should be released. I think they have medical facilities in prison where he can have medical care that he needs, but I think he needs to serve out his sentence. Thank you for watching. I'm the South Bay investor. Thank you guys. Have a great day.